Hi guys, we're back.
We're back.
We are back to Let's Talk again. I know you missed us because we really extremely missed you. And Brian and T are back on the couch again. We're here with so many fun new topics coming up for the next few weeks. So we're super excited and we are committing to 10 episodes for you guys moving forward. I know we were on this hiatus and it was exciting on the Let's Talk roll, and I appreciate everyone who's still in the midst of us being away for a while. We're purchasing merchandise, which we still have with us here, our coasters and our cups and our shot glasses, and those of you who were still texting and inquiring and DMing us and asking us to come back. We really appreciate the support.
Big facts.
And so we're really looking forward to kind of use that momentum to push us forward into a new space of the podcast and welcome you guys back into our space so that we can continue to have these wonderful conversations that can keep us motivated and learning some new things about each other and about what we can do to grow as people. So that's what I love most about Let's Talk. So I'm super excited to get back into it. How do you feel, Brian?
I missed it a lot.
Yeah.
I miss interacting and sharing our stories and experiences with, the viewers. Because what I realized is that as transparent as we were, people were being equally transparent.
Yes.
And I think it always opens up the opportunity in a room for people to learn from each other. And that's the biggest part. That's what I miss most. But
yeah.
Like Tia said, we're back, so we can jump right into. If for those who don't know, Tia and I have been together 16 years.
Yes, we're introducing ourselves.
Yes, 16 years, married for 10 years, and I'm sure for those who may be new to our relationship, would love to know what goes into a 16-year relationship and a 10-year marriage.
Yes.
If you had to choose one word, T, what would you say?
Gosh, one word?
Just one for now. I mean,
growth.
We obviously
Growth. Yeah, I would say growth.
Absolutely. I think that word definitely describes being together for a long time. Because if you don't grow, I don't think the relationship lasts.
I agree.
100%. You have to grow if you're going to be with one person for that long.
And it kind of allows you to grow as a person. I think the most insightful thing that I've seen or I've come across this year was when you're in a relationship, it should challenge you as a person. It shouldn't allow you to stay in the same space. It should push you. It should push you out of your comfort zone so that you can grow for the better. And sometimes when you're in those uncomfortable spaces, it's normal to wonder if this is the person that is for you, or if this push is a good push to continue this on, or is this push a push that shows you maybe you guys don't work out anymore. It's a lot of thoughts that go through your mind, but I think ultimately it should make you feel like you want to grow.
Absolutely. So with that said, what would you say has been what are the most challenging things with being with me or one person for this long?
I would say the most challenging thing for me being with you has been keeping up with myself. Mm-hmm. I think keeping up with who I am too.
Yeah.
Yeah, because sometimes I get really lost in you and our relationship, and I find myself, not anymore, but found myself doing that. But I think the most challenging thing you can think about being with a person is just making sure that you are.
Well, I'll say this, and maybe it'll create some ideas and thoughts in your mind. I would say the most challenging thing for me has been accepting you as you've grown. Because when we started, I think I had an idea in my mind about the person that I wanted to be with, and then that's also changed over time. So I would say the most challenging thing for me is being able to accept you throughout this entire time. I think I'm finally in the place where I'm learning what that looks like, because a lot of it is me understanding myself more. Mm-hmm. And so now that I understand myself more, it's easy to accept you more.
Yeah, I agree. I think for me also is just acceptance, most importantly, which we, those of you who haven't seen it, but go back into some of our other episodes and we talked about accepting each other for who we are, and as we grow and as we change. And I think that's something that definitely has been challenging for me, for sure. Yeah.
So obviously with challenges come, sunshine, fun, excitement, things that are great. What are the things that you think come with being in a long-term relationship that are most exciting, that are most fun, that are benefits to being with somebody for one?
I mean, for me, security, just knowing that someone loves me and like always gonna have my back no matter what. Because I am, speaking of acceptance, I am someone who goes up and down and round and round. And just to know that even in my good days and in my bad days, and I have you. I have you that's going to have my back and that's going to always be there to love me and to take care of me and to support me. And I think that that's the beauty in having someone and being in a consistent relationship. Right. You know what I mean? Especially like for someone like me, consistency wasn't something that was like present in my life. You know what I mean? Just like even like where I lived and with my parents, like I wasn't like in one place, and I didn't always know what was coming next. And I know now what's always going to be there, no matter what's coming next, has been you.
Yeah. So. Absolutely. I would say similar to what Tia shared, it's the comfort and the consistency. If you haven't had that in your life, like she said, growing up, having it with one person is something that feels super secure and it feels comfortable. So sometimes it's a gift and a curse in that comfort.
Yes, sometimes it is.
But it feels good knowing that when you come home, you have somebody that you're locked in with. T and I use the word partners because we do a lot of stuff together. Whether that's with the kids or in our individual lives, how we do certain things. Sometimes we tackle them together. So having a partner, somebody that is just locked in with you and there with you, there's no better feeling. So I think that is one of the benefits and beauties of being with somebody for this long is just knowing you have somebody that's locked in with you.
Yeah, I 100% agree. Cheers to that.
And clink.
In our Let's Talk classes.
I think people would ask this question. I think it's a fair question because I think a lot of people do this. Do you think time alone, just time, the amount of time, is enough to keep two people in a relationship?
No.
Why?
I don't know, because I feel like, so I would say this. I feel like it can keep people going. I don't know if it keep people happy in a relationship.
That's fair.
I think sometimes it's really uncomfortable the thought of starting over. Like, I think the times, like when I thought of being like, okay, this is not for me. Sometimes the time that's kept me is because I'm like, there's no way I'm gonna
start over with somebody else. Right.
Like I'd rather just like be single than to start over with someone else.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think time can question whether or not like
you want to take that leap.
You want to take that leap for sure.
Get out.
So in essence, I think time can sometimes be a barrier to leaving. And so sometimes it will keep you in a relationship simply because you've been with somebody.
So I think if we weren't able to have these conversations, then I don't think time itself would just keep me here.
Facts. I would say that, and I've always said that's been the thing that has kept me in this relationship, is that we've always progressed. Without the progress, I know for sure I wouldn't still be here. That's just me, my personality, what I like. I always want a challenge. I want something to be progressing. I want it to be moving forward. If that's not there, then there's no reason for me to be around. And so that's something that I can say with a 100% certainty has sustained this relationship. It's been progress. We've always moved forward, even in times where it felt stagnant. It's either been a conversation or we literally just change our actions to make it move forward. You know what I mean? So that's one thing I can hang our hat on. What have been some of the challenges in you being on this platform and sharing and being transparent with, people about your relationship and, just talking about yourself in general?
Yeah, I mean, just being completely honest with you guys, I love y'all so much. I love talking to you guys, but it became to a point where I was like, okay, I don't know if I want to continue this platform because of my personal, anxieties around being completely open. Even though I know I seem very comfortable when I do it, because I'm pretty comfortable with just who I am as a person.
Right.
But I think long term, the idea of continuously opening up to people, because I have a hard time with that, kind of made me feel like I just kind of pull back a little bit. Right. And I think it's something that I do like in my life. You know what I mean? I do it with my friends. I do it with my husband. I do it with myself. You know what I mean? My family, I tend to give only so much, and then when I feel like it's too much, it's almost like a defense mechanism for me. So I think being on this platform, it's more of like that. But then transforming it and thinking about how freeing it is,
right,
and how it was, and it was a great thing when we would be on our lives and people will begin to talk and open up. And Brian is the more transparent and open person than I am. He is more comfortable. And I think for me, because for so long I had to get more comfortable, because it's like I'm used to just like shutting myself out. So I think just being on this platform has been a very freeing thing, but also very scary for me. I'm not gonna lie. It's very scary.
And I truthfully, I didn't realize, as you mentioned, the comfort that you seem when you're on the live and when you're doing it. I didn't realize how much discomfort it brought you sharing and being open and transparent. But as you guys see, we took a break, so obviously, I had to be open to that and accepting of that, and not want to force her to do something that she wasn't comfortable doing. What do you think about the external pressures of like being in a long-term relationship, from like the people around you, family, friends, and them, wanting you to stay together, even if sometimes you feel like, well, maybe this isn't it?
It's definitely difficult, because I think,
well, first off, do you feel those pressures?
I have. I have felt those pressures. I do. I don't feel them so much today. I have felt them before in our relationships. Like being, I don't even know, have we talked about this before?
What's that?
Like when we took like a little break. And have we talked about that on this
I don't think so. I don't think so. You talking about like back
years ago?
Yeah, with Brian?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember us taking. So, and I'm the one who don't want to share, but here I am. So I remember we had like a moment where we like took a break, and this is after we had Brian, I think. We took a break after we had our first daughter, and my only daughter, but our first child. And I remember sharing to some of like my friends, or like my family or whatever, I won't be specific, that I was taking this break, and them not really being supportive of why I need to take the break. You know what I mean? Them being like, why are you taking this break? Like, Brian's great, you know what I mean? Like, you guys are doing great, like, you shouldn't. On one hand, I think it's great. Like, I don't really have friends that talk or wish ill of like my relationship with Brian. They're very supportive of me. They're very supportive of our relationship, which is good. And I think that's something that we need. And being one of the first married people around at that time, it was just kind of like they didn't really understand that I needed to kind of just spend some time by myself, because I had been in a relationship at that time we had been together for maybe 8 years or so. And I just kind of just needed to breathe. Like, I just needed to like have time to myself. And I didn't really have the support to understand the importance of that I needed at that time. And so I continued on. And through that, it was very difficult for us in our relationship. However, obviously we came out of that, thanks be to Spirit. But I didn't feel like I had the support to really understand the self-care that I needed at that moment.
Right.
So that's an example of a time
Feeling
where I felt like, okay,
pressure.
that external pressure.
Right.
Like I said, it's twofold, because then you also want people to encourage you to work through the hard times, because in relationships, it doesn't matter who you're with. Like, you can be with anybody, you're going to go through shit. So it's like, it's like a thing.
Right. Yeah, I mean, as you mentioned, I think it's two sides of it. It's the sides of obviously wanting to be an example to your family and friends who haven't been in long-term relationships and showing them, you know, what it takes. Yeah, what it takes to continue a long-term relationship.
Yes.
But then also being an example to them that if it's not working, it's not working.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And so I think the biggest thing is for us understanding both sides of those coin, and being able to have conversations. And then again, like having platforms like this is an opportunity to be vulnerable, but to be honest and let people know that there is not just great the entire time.
Right.
You know what I mean? And there are things that, you know, you go throughout a relationship that you get to a point where you may feel like, you know, maybe you want to walk away, or should you walk away, or the reasons why you're staying and sticking with that until you get through your tough time. You know what I mean? And so the pressures are definitely there, but I think you can flip them and use them to your advantage so long as you're honest.
Honest, you know.
You know what I mean?
Sometimes it's like just the space in the music, and you know everything isn't perfect, but I would say it's very beautiful here. In the words of
for those of you who
I think that's the thing. Asking yourself the hard questions. I think that's the thing that allows me to continue to grow, because I think the times where I felt like, okay, is this the best thing for me? Just asking myself like the core questions, like, am I supported? Am I loved? Am I being treated the way I need to? Can I still grow? You know, with this person? Can I still become a better person in this relationship? And I think those questions, asking myself and having the answer of yes, I can, you know, and that's why I'm still here, because I can still do those things. You know what I mean? I can still grow. I can still, you know, become a better Atia with Brian, and we can become a better example for, if not the people around us, at least our children. You know what I mean? And we can still persevere, because it's challenging, but it's like I said, it's great. It's doable.
Absolutely. Well, I appreciate you guys coming back and being a part of Let's Talk with us.
Yay.
It was long. I hope the wait was worth it.
I hope so too. And we have some really fun things ahead of us. And
absolutely.
I think it's gonna be good. I think it's gonna allow us to bring another layer down, and us to be more relatable, and us to kind of continue those conversations and heal even through the next 16 years.
And as we did before, we'll continue to have guests on the episode. So, you know, if you're thinking about being a guest or have a topic you'd love to discuss on Let's Talk, man, reach out, you know, in the comments, DM us, feel free to reach out to us. We'd love to hear from you guys, and welcome back to Let's Talk.
Yay, we're back. Welcome back. Cheers. Till next time.
Hey.